welcome him to our society, on the stage of our society, to give us little insights about his life's experiences. So now I request Vijay Sarafji, our secretary, to kindly read a few lines and introduce Dr. P.R.S. Chetan. Over to Vijay Sarafji. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay ji. Happy morning to all. I am privileged to introduce Dr. P.R.S. Chetan to this gathering. Dr. P.R.S. Chetan is the head of civil defense in Karnataka. Most of the people may not know what is civil defense. Civil defense is equivalent to army, but army and civil defense, there is a slight difference. The civil defense people don't go to the border. They run like an army in our neighborhood. So he is the head of civil defense in Karnataka. Dr. Chetan has won a lot of gallantry awards and saved thousands and thousands of lives in earthquake, floods, and so on. If I go on reading or saying about what all he has done, it will take another half an hour to read out all the things. The act of Dr. Chetan during the flood of Tungabhadra river was tremendous. He saved hundreds of lives and ultimately he got stuck in that flood in the river. After fighting for 4 hours, he was rescued from the river. During this lockdown, this COVID lockdown, he has done a tremendous service to the mankind. He was the head of the DIPR who was foreseeing the operation of Karnataka relief measures. DIPR alone has provided, along with medical facilities and different types of requirements, whatever they needed. During the lockdown, even after the food and all this thing requirement was over, he helped in the migrant laborers to go to their hometowns, be it train or by road. He arranged the facilitation of their going to their hometown, be it their tickets or food, everything was arranged under his guidance. He is a very good motivational speaker. You will come to know once he speaks. Now, today he is going to speak about think positive and never give up. We will really get motivated and get good thoughts and guidance for path of our life. Swami Chimanyananda once says, glory of human being is not in never falling. Glory of human being is not in never falling, but getting up every time you fall. Over to you, Dr. Chetan.
Thank you. Hope I'm audible. Sanjay, if I could get one yes.
Dr. Chetan, you are not audible.
Hello? Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you're audible. You can go on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what a great morning is this today. We are talking on a subject, think positive and never give up. At the outset, I'd like to thank Agarwal Samaj, my good friends Sanjay Ramavatar Garg and Vijay Saraf, and all the wonderful men and women as part of Agarwal Samaj. It gives me immense pleasure. The whole world is looking at troubled times. We lost 4 lakh people for COVID-19. Over 6 million people are affected. 210 countries are struggling in the economic slowdown. But here we have a Samaj who is thinking, what is the way forward? Going forward with this presentation, I know we have a mixed age group of people. We have somebody like Sonu, who is an youngster. We have people from all age groups. So let me try and do something, a justice. Next 30 minutes, I can assure you, will change our lives. I am also learning in this journey with you. Before I go any further, let me congratulate Agarwal Samaj. From government, we did the maximum. But let me tell you, if somebody who did equivalent to government, that is Agarwal Samaj, 1 million food packets, 211,000 masks, 500 tons of vegetables, 1,200 liters of sanitizers. The list goes on. My congratulations to every single member of your Samaj. We are wearing the uniform as soldiers. Agarwal Samaj people are also soldiers without uniform. That's the only difference. My congratulations to all the well-wishers of your organization. Let's go on. We need to begin somewhere. Let's begin to succeed. You will all understand it's the courage which keeps us moving. As Vijay Saraf introduced, I was on a rescue mission in Tungabhadra River. The river filled with 370,000 cusecs of water. The river which has crocodiles. The river which has killer rocks. The river which is known for whirlpools. The best of the swimmer would have scared to get into that river. But we as soldiers from civil defense, when we got there, all that our eye could see is 400 people on the other side of the river. We need to rescue them. It's a matter of life and death for that 400 people. As a true commandant, I took the boat along with my brave soldiers. We crossed the river. We saved close to around 186 people. On one of the missions, in the middle of the river, my boat capsized. The boat capsized and we were washed like small pins in the air. And the river, which we are very well aware in the history of Tungabhadra River, whoever has fallen in that river has never come back alive. We also know the history. In the history of Tungabhadra River, whoever has fallen, whoever is dead, we never recovered their dead bodies. That was the challenge in front of our eyes. But we need to take up the challenge. If a soldier stays back, then who saves the country? We went there. We were washed away. Every single time that I tried to save back myself, the river was in agony. It pushed me back. I tried for 6 times. I tried the 7th time. And finally, I opened up my eyes to see the river is wide open 10 folds. I don't save myself there. I am dead forever. This took me 4 long hours. Before that, I could even save myself. The television medias flashed. Commander Chetan lost in the operations. Friends, the video can come in front of your eyes. A river which is known for killer rocks, a river known for the worst of the crocodiles that you could imagine. And alone I am sailing in the river with my life jacket on. But friends, no soldier will give up. No soldier will give up that easy. I struggled on a final attempt. As I was swimming towards the shore, the weeds caught my legs. The weeds were so strong, I thought that's my end of my life. I gave one more attempt, one single attempt, and finally I could jump and save myself, and I created history. People say that we are the bravest, but let me tell you, courage is not the absence of fear. I want you to hear this properly, my dear young friends. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to go ahead in spite of the fear. I repeat, courage is not the absence of fear. It's the ability to go ahead in spite of fear. Knowing very well, wrong action may lead me somewhere. Wrong action may lead me somewhere, but inaction will lead us nowhere. Keep this in mind. As we go further in this presentation, let's keep this journey of learning. It's very simple. It's your belief system. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. It's your belief system that makes all the difference. As Vijay was saying in the beginning, every bad time has a silver line. Every negative aspect has a positive connotation. Every end has a beginning. Every struggle has a victory. Don't ever give up. My only strong message that I want you to learn, never give up in life. Every time you think of giving up, just remember why you started. Giving up is so easy. Giving up is so the simplest. But never giving up and staying there to win makes all the difference. It's very simple, my dear friends. Your belief system. If you believe you will win, you will. If you believe you can't, you will never. Because it's a belief system which makes all the difference. If you believe your steel business can get you 500 crores, trust me, you may not get 600 crores, but you will at least achieve 500 crores. If your belief system says, I will achieve only 50 crores, you can never aim to achieve 500 crores. Same thing happens with the students. I'm so glad COVID-19, we are talking about so many negatives. Imagine on a normal situation, I would have come to Meenakshi Resorts. I would have addressed this gathering of 500 people, 200 people. Today, we have people from the Lions Clubs International, from Agarwal Samaj. We have people from the Civil Defense. We have people from the Army. We have people from the Rotary International, Lions Clubs International. There are people who are logged in from New Jersey, New York. We have so many of them joining us on this platform. I want my boys and girls to remember, if you think you're going to achieve 50% in your exams, you can never expect your results to be anything more than that. Probably it could be lesser than that. It's your belief system. Start believing in yourself. You've got all the potential to achieve what you wanted to achieve. It's a question of how you think, how you visualize, how you dream, and what you achieve. This is what it makes the difference and nothing else. You all know this old saying, lion is the king of the jungle. I wanted to ask you, is lion the fastest? Is lion the biggest? Is lion the tallest? Or is lion the cleverest? And then how is it possible? How the lion is considered as the king of the jungle? It's not the fastest. If I am not wrong, cheetah is the fastest. It's not the biggest. We have bigger animals like elephants and others. It's not the tallest. It's neither the cleverest. Why the lion is considered as the king of the jungle? It's quite simple. The lion believes he is born to win. Others are conditioned to lose. It's the belief system. It's all in your mind. So I want my Samaj members, I want the hardworking businessman in this forum of Zoom platform. I want those many youngsters who are watching. Please believe you are going to win. It's a mind game. You constantly keep telling yourself, I'm not good. I'm not good enough. You will fail. Keep giving that positive attitude. Keep giving that positive inputs every single morning. Keep in mind, you are born to win and you will achieve success. Every time I go out for an operation, I still remember on the hills of Kodagu, I am carrying a pregnant woman who is about to deliver. She weighs somewhere around 75 kgs. We are walking on the small little mountains of Kodagu. All around there is landslides. The mountains are crumbling. I told my team, believe, we are going to save this lady. Visualize this lady is going to be thankful. Visualize she is going to have a normal delivery. I kept on motivating my team. All around there were landslides. As we land up, there was a floods. We rescued that lady and we brought her to safety. So friends, I can go on narrating my examples, my experiences. It's the mindset which makes you to win, nothing else. Keep that clear. This is the very popular thing. Rotarians, Lions will love to see this. If I ask you the question, who is the first man to land in moon? I know your mics are muted. I cannot expect a response from you. But I know for sure you will all say that Neil Armstrong was the first man to land in moon. Am I right? The whole world remembers Neil Armstrong is the first man to land in moon. But I want you to know Buzz Aldrin was the pilot of the Apollo mission. 1969 Apollo 11 mission, when they wanted to land in the moon mission, Buzz Aldrin was the pilot. Michael Collins was the commander. Neil Armstrong was the co-pilot. People will remember only Neil Armstrong. I don't think anybody remembers Buzz Aldrin. I don't think people ever heard about Michael Collins. Buzz Aldrin is from the United States Air Force. Michael Collins was the expert from NASA. Neil Armstrong was from the American Navy and he was the co-pilot of the mission. It's very simple. This mission failed 5 times before it landed. When it landed, NASA sent out a message, pilot, step out. Buzz Aldrin was worried if he steps out, something goes wrong, he's going to be burnt into ashes in microseconds. NASA sent out a second message, pilot, step out. Buzz Aldrin was still thinking. The third message, NASA sent out, Michael Collins, the commander, step out. Commander took little instruction, he was just referring to the manual. Then the final call came, co-pilot, step out. Neil Armstrong did not even think for a microsecond. He stepped out, created his own history. His first words, a small step for mankind, a small step for me and a large, huge step for mankind. Neil Armstrong, the whole world remembers. What is the lesson I'm trying to tell you? My dear ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is that I'm trying to tell you? Please remember, this Apollo mission taught us 4 important lessons in life. Opportunity never knocks twice. Opportunity never knocks twice. When it knocks it, grab it. Never wait for a second opportunity to come. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Begin to succeed. You need not see the whole picture. Just take the first step and you begin to succeed. And the third important lesson, in order to succeed, your desire for success should be greater than your fear for failure. Please remember, in order to succeed, your desire for success should be greater than your fear for failure. And the fourth important lesson, You all remembered Neil Armstrong. Nobody remembered Buzz Aldrin. Nobody remembered Michael Collins. Nobody remembered the NASA commander who was sitting at the command center. They only remember Neil Armstrong. And the fourth important lesson in life, the world remembers only the winners. The world remembers only the winners, and the man who came second was forgotten. If I ask you a question, who won the World Cup last time, you will all jump with the answer. If I ask you who is the runner-up, you will probably guess. So friends, the first and foremost important lesson out of Apollo 11 mission, the world remembers the winner and not the runner-up. And the opportunity never knocks second time. My dear young friends, I'm so grateful. So many of you are here on this. The numbers are going up. Keep in mind, believe in yourself. Believe in a vision. Have a dream that you are going to achieve. Tough times teaches us the best of the lessons. You will be worried about your career. You will be worried about COVID-19. You will be worried about COVID-19 taking away jobs. You will be worried about 25,000 crores wiped away every day from India due to COVID-19 lockdowns. You will be worried about your own life. You are worried about your future. I want my young friends to remember, during the tougher times, you come out with the best solutions. Sir Winston Churchill said very nicely, never ever allow a good crisis to go waste. I repeat, never ever allow a good crisis to go waste. Make good use of the crisis. Honorable Prime Minister gave us the call of economic revival. Can we think of all that business China is losing? Can we try to take it up? Can the steel giants of Agarwal Samaj think of setting up steel factories instead of only dealing with that? Can we think of creating jobs? Can we think something novel? Can we think something unique? Can we think something out of the box, which I will be dealing in the future slides of mine? If I ask you a question, though when we are having anti-China sentiments, Forbes, world's most powerful people, the topmost is the Chinese Prime Minister. The third topmost is the American President Donald Trump. The 10th most powerful man in the world is the Indian Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji. The 50th most powerful man, Bill Gates of Microsoft Foundation. But here I am speaking about a gentleman who was nobody 15 years ago. 17 years ago, he did not even have a job. I am talking to you about the founder of Alibaba, Jack Ma. Jack Ma, I want my dear young friends to remember, failed thrice in his primary education, failed twice in his middle school, failed terribly in his high school, applied for Harvard University 10 times, knocked at 27 universities in United States of America. Everybody said, bye-bye, we don't need you, you are not fit to be in my university. You know what Jack said? If you don't give up, you still have a chance. Giving up is the greatest failure. Never, never give up. Jack Ma had a wonderful story. He went on knocking for jobs. Nobody gave him a job. Then somebody suggested, Jack, the easiest job you can get is joining KFC food outlet, serving those food. You know the wonderful story? 24 people appeared for interview. 23 of them got selected in KFC. The one who was rejected was Jack Ma. Then he thought policing is the best one. He went for a police job. 10 people appeared for interview. 9 were selected. The one who was rejected was Jack Ma. He knocked at 27 banks just for $1,000 loan. Nobody gave him. But he believed internet is the most happening thing. Internet is the future of life. I'm talking about 18 years ago. 18 years ago, my dear friends. Today, they started a company with 18 people. Today, 75,000 people work for Alibaba and their associates. 500 million users buy products on Alibaba platform. 200 million sellers sell on Alibaba platform. 4,330 crores United States dollars is the turnover of Alibaba company, and it is his net worth. The man who could not even clear his primary education, the man who failed in his middle school, the man who was chucked out from KFC, they thought he's not fit enough. Failures are stepping stone in success. Please remember, there is a great saying, you fall 7 times, rise 8 times. Every time you fall, jump like a phoenix and come up. Failures will happen in business. Failures will happen in health. Failures will happen in education. There will be breakdowns. Relationships will break. There will be problems in life. But every time there is a problem that you undergo, keep in mind, I am going to spring up. I am going to come back. I am going to win this world. I am going to conquer this world. How long you are going to study somebody's history, my dear friends? How long, my dear young friends on this platform, are going to keep studying about Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Sundar Pichai, Dr. Abdul Kalam? Of course, they're all wonderful role models. I don't want you to keep studying only history. Please study history, but create your own history. The future generation should say, the people on this platform who created history. 10 years from now, 5 years from now, you are the guys who should create the history. I am very confident. Those of you on a Sunday, you had great opportunities to watch movies. You had great opportunities to have a brunch. You wanted to laze around sleeping on your bed, but you woke up and so many of you have logged in. The numbers are going up every minute that I see. That shows you wanted to come up in life. So never, never give up. Never give up. Problems will come, but never give up. I'm going to talk to you about a wonderful person that I met. Among various privileges that I had in life, having a uniformed service with so many medals on my chest, so many operations, so many law and order challenges, I worked as a special police officer. The biggest privilege of my life, I had close interaction. I worked with a wonderful gentleman, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. When I met him, I met another interesting person about whom I am going to say, because on this platform, we have got people who are of different age group. We have people of 65 years. We have people of 70 years. I had a friend of mine from Belgaum joining in, who is, if I'm not wrong, 69 years young. The challenge here is very simple. The gentleman that you are seeing on the screen is not Bill Gates. He is not Warren Buffett. He is not Mahatma Gandhi. He is not Virat Kohli. He is neither an MS Dhoni. He is a driver. He is a driver. I am going to speak to you about a driver whom I met in my life. 45 years of age when I met him. He was a dropout from high school. Never completed his 10th standard. Hails from a small village in Tamil Nadu. Lost his father when he was just 5 years old. He had 3 sisters to take care of. He had a large family to help out. So those days, in 1979, people used to take them for army. He joined Indian Army and they gave him a job as a driver. Then he was posted in DRDO, Defense Laboratory, where he was lucky enough, like me, He was driver for a wonderful person. He was a driver driving the car of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. This driver had the habit of reading 3 newspapers. All 3 newspapers were in Tamil because he was not able to read English newspapers. I know Dr. Abdul Kalam very well. He's very inquisitive, very caring, very loving. The minute he sees someone, he will ask, what are you doing? What's your ambition? What do you want to achieve in life? He will go on asking so many questions. Similarly, he started asking questions with this driver. He asked them, what do you want to become? This gentleman said, sir, I come from a poor family. I come from a family where I can't afford to study. So I dropped out in my 9th standard. Dr. Abdul Kalam gave him a very interesting turnaround in his life. He said, how old are you? The driver replied, I am 45 years old. What can I do now? Dr. Abdul Kalam mentioned 65 years when KFC founder went knocking at 1,800 outlets to sell that recipe. Everybody rejected. Everybody rejected, but he had the perseverance. Dr. Kalam said, age is only a number. Age is just a number. Maturity is a choice. I repeat, age is a number. Maturity is a choice. This driver took that advice very seriously, enrolled himself for his 10th examination when he was 45 years old. I'm sure we have a lot of elders, Rajendra Goyalji and others, they will resonate with my story. This gentleman who went on to study, he joined 10th standard, then he joined for a course for PUC, then he went on to do his graduation. Imagine a man who worked 25 years as a driver, now he wants to change the path of his life. He went on to do with so much of motivation, and at the end, you know what he became? He was driver for universities. He was driver for college and schools. And one final day, the same driver whom I am talking about is Dr. V. Kadiresan. He went on to create history. From driver to history professor, he created his own history. At the age of 54, he completed his BA. He completed his MA. He completed his MPhil. He did his PhD and became Dr. V. Kadiresan. Ladies and gentlemen, a driver who failed in his 9th standard exams could recreate the history and write the history in golden letters. Why not you and me? I'm sure we have so many of you joining here who can create history, who can make a big difference. Look at it. A man who never even completed 10th standard could create an history, and today he was invited to Berkeley University for their convocation as a chief guest. You know the kind of standing ovation. He spoke just for 9 minutes. People were clapping for more than 10 minutes for him. That's the success that he achieved. So it makes very clear, with a burning desire, with a determined mind, with your focus, you can achieve anything. Don't blame the age. Don't blame the circumstances. Don't blame the college that you study. Don't blame the economy that we are in, because we are all part of it. We are all responsible for it. So, little going further, you might have seen various boards, but I have seen a very interesting board which says, shoes are allowed inside, leave your attitude outside. What a great saying. Just, I want people like Aisha to look at the screens again. Shoes are allowed inside, leave your attitude outside. What does it mean? I'm okay with your shoe and dust. I'm not okay with your attitude. So what is that attitude? Let's touch upon, then I'll come to the conclusion. What is that attitude that we are going to talk today? Attitude is a state of mind. Your attitude is your mindset. It's the way you look at things mentally. I know hundreds of youngsters. I still remember, I can show you that video just to break the monotony. I'll just show you one video and go on with my presentation. Don't worry if the audio is not there. I don't know whether you were able to see that video. It was the river rescue in Kodagu. The bridge was broken. Huge amount of water. When we were getting in, my younger team said, no, sir, we can't do this. But trust me, I took the leadership and my team followed. Today it's history. Everybody across 180 countries show this video to demonstrate how we exhibited courage and valor. So it's the way you look at things. They indicate one's feelings favorably or unfavorably to the persons and objects. So the most important aspect, I want most of you will have it. I want you to keep in mind. Keep something called ASK. I'm telling you a very simple formula, ASK. That A is your attitude. Have a positive attitude. S, develop your skill set. K, improve your knowledge. These three ingredients could lead you to success. Remember, attitude, skill, and knowledge. So going further on attitude, attitude is the small things that make big difference. Without the right attitude, person with great talent, skill, knowledge cannot achieve their potential. You may have great skills, you may have great talent, you may have great knowledge, but without attitude, you cannot come up. I still remember your Agarwal Samaj, Ram Avatar Gargji. I had the privilege of having worked with him. Many youngsters may not remember him. A great man with such positive attitude. Every time we talk to him about some service, I'm talking about 25 years old story. He used to say, sir, mevu, hamara samaj se kar dega. That's the kind of attitude. So please remember, my dear young friends, this right attitude is what is more important than great talent, skill, and knowledge. So positive attitude leads to happiness and success, and it can bring constructive change in your life. I know many people, you ask them, how are you? They will say, they will not even speak. They will show the body language. In their opinion, long back I should have gone, but I'm just surviving. Friends, look at the positive side. Look at this one situation of COVID-19. When the whole world is suffering, the most developed nation, America, lost 4 lakh people. Look at the death rates in India. We are able to control it better. Look at the number of people infected. We are able to do it better. Look at the economy rate. American shops and malls are looted. For what? Need of toilet tissues and papers. Whereas in India, people from Samaj come forward. They say, can I give you 1 million food? Can I give you sanitizers? Can I give you PPEs? We are not receivers, we are givers. Remember, givers gain. So that's a positive attitude. Look at the economy that's going to open up for us in future. Look at the whole world is going to look at 130 billion people in India. So we can achieve more success. So keep that in mind. So with positive attitude, you see the brighter side. You see the brighter side of the life. You are optimistic and expect best things to happen. When you think the good things is going to happen, you will be filled with good things. If you think that you are going to lose something, or if you are looking at a pessimistic attitude, everything will look negative. So the choice is yours. Do you want to look at this life positive, or do you want to look at this life in a negative way? The choice is yours. Attitude is the way you communicate your mood to others, the way you pursue the world. A positive self-image improves both professionally and in personal relationship. In everything there is a positive side. Look at that. When you are optimistic and anticipate successful encounters, that transmit a positive attitude, and people usually respond favorably. I always keep telling them, before going in for any interview, going in for a business deal, going in for any major projects, visualize success. Visualize you're going to win. Visualize you're going to achieve all success, and see the magic. You will achieve success. The same thing you try that you're going to fail, and go back with that mindset, invariably you will land up with failure. So it's very simple. You wanted to achieve success or failure, the choice is yours. So the being positive makes all the difference. So I have another 10 more minutes, then I'll conclude. A negative self-talk, I have never done it before. People always tell this, मैं कभी नहीं किया था, मैं क्या करूं? It's an opportunity to learn. I never gave a talk on a Zoom platform in my life. Today it's an opportunity for me to learn. It's too complicated. Think I will tackle it from a different angle. Somebody may complain, I don't have resources. Please remember, my friends, necessity is the mother of invention. People will say, I don't have enough time. Reevaluate your priorities. You will find time. And some people have this habit of saying, there is no way it will work. Why not you look at this way? I can try and make it work. And some people always complain, no one bothers to communicate with me what to do. You see whether you can open the channel of communications. So every single thing that you do, try with something new. Try with something that you can make a difference. Then everything will go well. I'm very confident all my fellow listeners, 180 of them at this point in time, will know what we are doing. So tough times need special decisions. Think big. Don't blame your fate. In fact, I just remembered of a very interesting story that I wanted to share from the books of history. The picture that you see on the left side of my screen, 1963, the first rocket India launched. You know, the most important parts of the rocket was carried in a bicycle. This is in Tunga, the ISRO Research Center in Kerala. We were carrying, the New York Times came with this picture and said, India tries its first rocket by carrying it in cycle. They condemned India. The second satellite we launched, we moved the same on a bullock cart. Said, India improved from cycle to bullock cart. That was the news. But friends, I want you to know, 2017, when we launched 104 satellites in single mission, 90 of them was from United States of America. And the people who said, India believes in cycle technology, they came knocking at our doors. They came knocking at the doors of the Indian scientists who were so proud to launch 104 satellites just at 10% of the cost what America would have spent. That's the strength of this nation. That's the strength of this country. That's the strength of our younger generation. 63% of Indian population is below 30 years. We are the most potent nation in the world. We are the most youngest nation in the world. If we can't succeed, who else can? So don't blame your fate. Think big. Dr. Kalam always said, a small dream is a crime. And have confidence on what you do. Many of you may say, मुझे अंग्रेजी बात करना नहीं आता है. I'm not able to speak Kannada. I'm not able to speak some other language. I want you to look at the screen, this young woman. She is from a very, very small town near Namakkal in Tamil Nadu. 2009, she was a victim of child marriage. She is a victim of child marriage. She got married to a police constable when she was 16 years. She delivered a girl baby when she was 17 years. She delivered her second baby when she was 19 years. One fine day, when her husband did not turn up for lunch, she went to the police headquarters. There was a police parade happening. Thousands of them were saluting at the parade base. She asked a question, whom are you saluting? Who is that gentleman taking the salute? Husband, who was a police constable, replied, he is our Director General of Police, who is an IPS officer. So we are all saluting. She asked, is IPS officer so great? He said, yes, they are great. This lady immediately snapped back and said, then I will become IPS. Husband started laughing, like all husbands do. He started laughing. He said, do you know what it makes to become an IPS? This lady said, I don't know. She was 9th standard fail. Studied in Tamil medium. She went on. She took this challenge. She wrote a 10th standard Tamil medium, 2nd PUC in Tamil medium, graduation in English, 2009 batch of civil services. I had the privilege of training these people. That's why I know them personally. 2009 batch. Incidentally, many of the listeners may not know, I train IAS and IPS officers on disaster management. I train police officers, DYSPs and SPs on disaster management. This young lady, 2009 batch results came out. She topped from Tamil Nadu cadre and she was posted to Maharashtra cadre as an IPS officer. Today, you can Google the young lady who was a victim of child marriage. Today, she is the Deputy Commissioner of Police of Mumbai. She speaks fluent Hindi. She handles the Mumbai underworld with the strict and stubborn police ruling. She maintains law and order. A woman who was pushed into child marriage could change the fate and rewrite the history. Friends, you and I are better placed. We have studied in better schools and colleges. We have got better financial support. When Ambika, who passed out 2009 IPS with flying colors, the youngsters who are watching this can do better. Keep this determination in mind. Have a burning desire to succeed. The dream should be bigger. Dr. Kalam always used to remind me, a small dream is a crime. A small dream is a crime. Have a bigger dream. Don't dream to just get a pass certificate in your exams. Don't dream to get a BPO job. I don't undermine that job, but still I'm warning you. Don't think that you wanted a job in an MNC. Think of you becoming an MNC and giving thousands of jobs to youngsters. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. I have 3-4 more slides before I wind up. I'm sure Vijay Sarabhai is very kind enough. We have Jinendra, Aneja and others from Rotary who joined in. I know a lot of my friends. We had Shanbag, one of the senior most past governors of Lions, joining in from Belgaum. I'm thankful to all of them and all others for that matter. Uber. Until Uber came out, we were believing the alone black taxis were magic. But Uber proved how technology can change. 173 countries, 110 million users. Please remember, 110 million users in 173 countries. One idea, one software, one platform. Please remember, 5 billion people take trips every day. And Uber does not own even a single car. One idea. Think out of the box. Think out of the box. Think something new. Don't get worried about artificial intelligence taking your jobs. Don't worry about robots replacing human beings. Even the robot has to be controlled by a human being. Artificial intelligence is created by human being. We have more opportunities. We have more jobs coming up. If it doesn't come, you create jobs. The more problems in the world, the more solutions has to be found. Be a solution finder. You be the innovator who can think. So that's why my message to you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a single seed is the mother of entire forest. A single seed can create a forest. Do you have that one small idea which makes a difference? When Thomas Alva Edison invented the bulb, he failed 10,000 times. He failed miserably. One fine day, his entire laboratory was burnt. Nothing was there. When he walked through the ashes of his laboratory, his secretary asked, "Sir, 20 years of hard work is burnt. What next?" You know what Edison replied? He just picked up one from the ash and said, 20 years of my mistakes are burnt. 20 years of my wrongdoings are burnt. Let me start new tomorrow. Look at the attitude. Then people came up and asked him, you failed 10,000 times. You were never able to invent a bulb. Edison replied, I never failed. 10,000 ways I found how I cannot make a bulb. I'll come back with a solution tomorrow. Today, Edison is part of the history. Without Edison, the modern world could not have looked this brighter. So, single idea which makes a difference. One seed which can create a forest. Think something new. Be a game changer. Never miss an opportunity to grow intellectually and financially. Think big and achieve. Aim big. Work to achieve success. As I mentioned, a small dream is a crime. Have confidence in what you achieve. That's why I'm repeating what I taught you. Have confidence that I will achieve. Develop strong belief systems. Develop strong belief systems. Have dedication. Few years of dedication, lifetime of happiness. Abdul Kalam always used to say, probably 10 years of hard work, 100 years of peaceful life. Think you can make a difference. Be prepared to change and change with times. Think out of box, innovate, inspire, and then ignite a passion to succeed. That will give you success. Friends, before I end, I spoke about the magic of belief system. I want you to remember this. It does not matter how much I have. Please listen carefully. It does not matter how much I have. What really matters is what I do with what I have. It does not matter how much I have. It matters what you do with what you have. Beethoven wrote, one of the finest composer of the world. He composed the world's best music symphony. 50 years after his death, people said, Beethoven is the world's best composer. His symphony was the world's best. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want you to remember Beethoven when he composed that music, when he composed that symphony, he was completely deaf. He could not hear his own music. He demonstrated to the world, it does not matter how much I have, it matters what I do with what I have. John Milton wrote one of the world's finest poetries. Paradise Lost. Later he wrote a wonderful poetry, The Paradise Regained. If you go through that poetry, it explains so much about the nature, the chirping of birds, the flow of water, the gushing of rivers. He explains every minute detail. But I want you to remember John Milton, when he wrote the poetry, Paradise Lost, he was completely blind. He could not even see what he has written. John Milton demonstrated to the world, it does not matter how much I have, it matters what I do with what I have. So you might be cribbing, I don't have money, I don't have good looks, I don't have good education. If I ask you to make a list of things that you lack, each one of us can write hundreds of them. But friends, that's not important. One good thing, I don't know what Sachin Tendulkar knows other than batting. I don't know what Lata Mangeshkar knows other than singing. I don't know what Amitabh Bachchan knows other than acting and speaking well. When you compare, you know hundreds of things. With one thing they could succeed, why not you and I? Think of it. Let's do an introspection. Let's write the positives of us. Forget the negatives. Don't worry about it. With a bad attitude, you can never have a positive day. With a positive attitude, you can never have a bad day. So the choice is yours, friends. Before I end, I want you to, I'll just jump this. I'll go to the next one because I'm running out of time. What is most important quality required to climb Mount Everest? I want you to go back in your memories on 2011. The tracks of Uttar Pradesh. Young woman, a national volleyball champion. Please remember, national volleyball champion who was selected to be the CISF sub-inspector. She was going to Delhi to join her job as CISF sub-inspector. If everything was fine, she would have probably been in one of the airports manning as a CISF sub-inspector. Unfortunate, as she was traveling in the train in Uttar Pradesh, 4 people tried to grab her purse. They tried to molest her. A volleyball player, she fought vehemently. These 4 thugs threw her out of the moving train, fast moving train. She was thrown on the tracks of Uttar Pradesh. Another train passed by. Her entire left leg was completely jammed. 6 hours she was lying in an unconscious state in the railway track. Everybody thought she has committed suicide. Then police took her. Still she was breathing. They took her to the hospital. Slowly she recovered. A volleyball champion, a CISF sub-inspector. Can she stay without a leg? Her leg is amputated. You and I would have cried over the fate. She had the courage. She had the determination. She had the willpower. She wanted to achieve what she wanted to achieve. You know what she did? April 2011, the 11th of April 2011, she was lying on the tracks of Uttar Pradesh. 11th April 2013, in just 2 years, she was on the top of the world. She is the only amputee in the world to climb Mount Everest. She was awarded the Padma Shri by the Honorable President of India. Ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about this inspiring personality, Arunima Sinha. When Arunima Sinha could achieve, you know what was her words? She looked at Mount Everest and said, Mount Everest, you look taller from when I was down. When I climb up with determination, courage and motivation, the entire Mount Everest is below my feet. I repeat, when I see from down, Mount Everest is so huge. When I climb with determination, Mount Everest is below my feet. So friend, Mount Everest cannot grow by an inch. but you and I can. You and I can grow with intellectually. You and I can achieve success with hard work, determination, willpower, courage, and burning desire to achieve success. Keep in mind, never ever lose your positive attitude. A pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. The optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. It's only a matter of optimist saying my glass is half full. A pessimist says my glass is half empty. So look at the positive side of life. Go on to achieve all success. Just to recap what I taught you. The willpower, determination, never giving up. Never give up. Death was knocking my doors. I can confidently say I have gone through death before I could come back alive. The only thing that I am alive today because I never gave up. I never gave up. I fought for my survival. I struggled in the river. I dared at the crocodiles. I wasn't hesitant when I had a fall of 15 feet height. Every time I looked at the river becoming 10 times larger, I was only giving an auto suggestion to myself, I will achieve, I will come back alive, I will succeed, I'll work for my nation. Because any uniformed person, the nation comes first. Our life doesn't come first, the nation comes first. So my country is my greatest asset. I work for my country, my nation is more important. I'm sure my young friends and all my Samaj friends would have benefited at least little from this interaction. I wish each one of you very long life. I want you to succeed in life. Please remember, it does not matter what you have, it matters what you do with what you have. I wish you success, and I thank Sanjay Ram Avatar Garg, and I thank Vijay Saraf, a good friend of mine, and all the Samaj friends and wonderful ladies. I should thank them. They come in big numbers. Your support, your blessings are always required. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind.
Sanjay Garg and the entire Agarwal Samaj team and Agarwal Samaj member, we express heartily gratitude and thankful to Dr. Chetan. हम डॉक्टर चेतन के बहुत ही शुक्रिया है कि दिल से उन्होंने इतनी अच्छी आज हमें पॉजिटिव थॉट्स दिए टू बिकम सक्सेसफुल इन लाइफ. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहते हैं. एंड आई विल रिक्वेस्ट एवरीबॉडी टू से I am successful and I will achieve success, achieve great heights. Thank you. Request everybody to join in the evening 7 p.m. for the Kavi Sammelan, Kavya Ras Ki Fuhar with Anamika Ambar.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
शाम को मिलते हैं. Thank you, Dr. Chetan.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Chetan again.